Welcome back to LivAnimated.com. Let's learn something new. I'm going to keep this real with y'all. This is the only mic I got. So I'm just going to use this for these. It feels kind of weird because looking at myself and doing this, it feels like I'm about to start rapping or something. But what we're here to talk about is Q&A track. This is something new that I want to do for the channel. Since I started my channel, I've gotten a lot of feedback and questions from people who want to excel at their careers, and they're looking to see how they can do that. So I'm here to help out with getting them on the right track by answering their questions. Our first question comes from Jose from California. How should I ensure that my work and my contributions get visibility within the company? What new skills do I need to move ahead? This is a great question. A lot of people have this same question, to be honest. What you want to do first is make sure that you're aware of the opportunities that are around you. A lot of times in meetings and just in passing, you'll hear people complain about things they're working on or they can't quite figure something out. One of the best things you can do is listen. Listen to people at work. And what you'll find is that a lot of times you might be able to help them out with the situation they're going through. Helping these people out in these situations, which may seem like smaller situations, will actually be very beneficial for yourself. They will speak praise of your name. They will talk about how you approach them in most cases and how you were, extending a helping hand to help get them where they want to be. So a lot of times that is one of the best things to do is just listen when you're at the office. You want to also be a service provider. Service provider meaning like you're willing to do whatever job comes your way. Now, let's not get this confused with what your day-to-day responsibilities are for your discipline that you have already. So you may already have work that you need to get done. By all means, get that done first and make sure that you're going to be successful in getting that done. You don't ever want to put yourself in a situation where you're not getting your work done, but you're trying to help someone out. You're going to end up shooting yourself in the foot, if I'm being honest with you. So what you want to do is make sure that you have a hold on what your tasks are and how to complete your tasks to get stuff done. Once you are comfortable with your workload, by all means, try to help other people out. Extend a hand from listening to what people are going through, whether it's in dailies or any type of meeting that you're in. You may not even be in the industry that I'm in. What you can do is by helping other people be successful, that's how you're going to propel yourself in your career and at the company that you're at right now. Always look outside of your department as well. A lot of times you'll find that in different disciplines, people may be going through different things. Maybe they're putting a presentation together and they're not too keen on some of the software to make this look as nice as it could be. Helping people out in that regard will scream volumes. Then what they will do is they'll talk about you at the water cooler. They'll tell people about how you approach them to help save their project or just added a helping hand so they can focus on other more heavy lifting things that needed to get done in the project. Some of the other things that you can do is make sure that when you help out, you pick and choose your battles. You never really want to put yourself in a position where you're going to fail. A lot of times this can be very obvious. So let's just say someone's working on something and you have no idea how to help out or no idea how you can contribute even after talking to the person. And maybe you don't have the skill set to help out. There's other ways that you can help, and we'll discuss that later, but I would not go gung-ho into a situation like that because what you don't want to do is you don't want to eat up more time for that person, and you don't want to put yourself in a position where you're not going to be successful. A lot of times, the latter is when you're starting out in your career because you're just very eager, but you want to make sure that you can be successful in these endeavors that you're trying to help out with. Some of the other things that you can do is make sure that you have your soft skills up. Having soft skills are going to be highly important in communicating with people and making sure that you can approach people with a humbleness and with empathy towards their situation. A lot of people are just for themselves that you'll find out, and they want to just get their work done. They don't really care, and they're out at 6 or they're out at whatever time it is to be out. They're not there to help people. They're there to do their work and go home, which is fine. But your question is about how to get visibility and recognition within a company. So working on your soft skills, work on how you would approach people, work on how to give feedback and how to take feedback. So this is what I was mentioning before about giving feedback. A lot of times when you're in meetings or if you're in situations where you want to help out, but there's nothing really you can do, I would say make yourself available to give your time to that person in helping them review what they're doing or play testing or wordsmithing or proofreading or whatever it is you can do to help out. Now you're at the point of where you want to help out no matter what. Whether you have the skills or not that you feel, you just want to be there to help them out and let them know that you care about what they're doing, which is great too. So in regards to that, feedback is highly important. Another set of eyes is always important and beneficial on projects and tasks, just to make sure that the vision is clear and that you're staying on track. A lot of people will be appreciative of that. Now, if you're helping out and you have to be able to take feedback, that's the other side of the coin for that one. You could be helping out with someone else's project and you may have done something that you're like, maybe you didn't understand something before you got started and you're going down the wrong path. There's a communication breakdown when that usually happens, but let's just say you're going down the wrong path and they have feedback for you to change something. You have to be open to that. You can't be like, hey, I'm helping you out. You should be happy I'm helping you out. That's bad. You literally are shooting yourself in the foot, reacting and responding like that. You want to make sure that when someone gives you feedback, you can take the feedback. Obviously, constructive criticism is most important, but you got to be able to take feedback as well. You cannot just assume that, hey, I'm gonna help you guys out and this stuff's gonna be perfect. I'm helping you out, it's gonna be great. No, that's not. You have no idea what could happen. You're in it for the journey, and from being successful throughout the journey, your reward is praise, and from that praise is where you'll have more opportunities given to you. You'll have more people knowing who you are within the studio, and you may not even know who they are. Which is a very cool place to be in because people will look and seek you out to help them out on their projects, which is what it sounds like you want. And from there, you can start to excel your career and move up to another level within the industry or company that you're at. Some of the other things you can do is contribute in meetings. A lot of times there'll be meetings. They could be brainstorm meetings. They can be review meetings or just huge team meetings. It's at this time where you want to make sure that you can contribute and actually participate in the meeting by raising your hand, asking questions, trying to give some answers to some things or suggestions to some things. This will give you high visibility within the studio as well, and it'll make sure that people know you're not just filling a seat. You actively care about what's going on at your studio, and you actively care about the day-to-day. It's also in these meetings that you want to make sure that you don't do anything that's too negative. These meetings shouldn't be about you bashing anyone's idea or you making anyone feel a certain type of way. It should all be about you wanting to help, and that'll be conveyed with the sincerity you have of what you're trying to do, ask, or contribute. Some of the other things you can do within a studio is take the time to learn everything you need to do at the studio. And when I say it like that, I mean, like, if there's programs or other disciplines or other things that you're like, hey, I'm taking interest in this, I want to learn this, that, again, is going to be another way for you to help out and actually contribute more than you think. A lot of times when people need help on certain things, it's because there may be too much work that needs to get done. And some of that work they may not know how to do or how to approach it. But if you've taken the time to learn what you need to learn and do what you need to do with these programs or these opportunities, essentially, because each program that you learn is going to open up more opportunities for you, what you're going to be able to do is put yourself in more situations to be a positive help to someone else on the team. So let's just say someone doesn't know how to use PowerPoint. PowerPoint is something secondary to you because it's not a part of your normal role or discipline that you need to execute every day, but you know how to use PowerPoint. Maybe this person is having a hard problem with putting a presentation together, and so you can say, hey, let's just do it in PowerPoint. I'll help you out. What are your images? What are the things you're trying to say? Help them get it set up. And then in turn, by doing that, that's a pretty awesome way to contribute to something. You're going to make this person look really good in a meeting when they have to present it. It's almost like being back in college or in high school when you're working with a team, except you don't have a teacher there like forcing you to be on a team. You're just taking that initiative to be a team player. That's going to scream volumes. That person is going to have great feedback. They're going to get a great response from their boss or their supervisor. And then, if they're not all about out for being out for themselves, they're gonna be like, hey, Jose helped me out with this. Jose took some time, and he helped me get this situated. He actually did a lot of these pages for me, and I provided content. We actually worked together really well. Hey, man, that kind of feedback is what you're looking for, and what your goal is from your question. You're going to want people to speak like that about you to other people. That is what's going to get you recognized at the studio. If you just go to work and just do your job to the best of your ability or beyond your ability, you're kind of like a drop in the hat, because if everyone is at the studio trying to do that same thing, then it kind of evens everything out where everyone's doing a great job. Everyone's doing this. No one's really standing out. But if you can help any way you can on other things, that's what's going to get you to stand out. So I sort of went over some of the things you can work on, which is like your soft skills, learning more programs that you have available to you, and contributing in meetings, giving feedback and taking feedback. That's pretty much all you need to do in order to stand out and get recognized at a studio. But the first most important thing is make sure that you're getting your work done. Make sure that your work is of its best quality and that you're on time. A lot of the things when you start taking on more work is you're going to have to see that you're going to have to know how to self-manage yourself. You may have a schedule, you may have a producer or someone who's keeping track of tasks and so on, but you need to be able to keep track of your own tasks, meet those deadlines, and then still be able to contribute to help out other people. That's going to be the cleanest way of doing this. I had a manager back in the day that told me when you're in meetings with a lot of people, you want to make sure that everyone leaves the meeting happy. So when you're in these meetings or big groups with people, make sure that you're being as positive as you can be. You have ideas, you're listening, you're actively listening. A lot of people will look like they're listening and they'll just have their question ready in their head. You want to actively listen so that you can propel someone else's idea that will lead into your own. So if person A is like, yeah, I think we should have coins or something in this level. I'm only speaking from gaming perspective, even though I don't think you're in the games industry, but they may want to have something in one level. And you can say, hey, that's a great idea that person X had. To follow up on that more, what if we also did this or expand on their idea? Like that's another way of contributing as well. Not only are you shining the light on someone else, and championing their idea, you're also putting yourself out there where you are a team player. It's not about just you. And that's something that a lot of people have a hard time doing. A lot of people in meetings are only about, hey man, this is what I said, this is what I want to do, let's do this, and then they, once they said their piece in the meeting, they could give a damn about anybody else's stuff they got to say in the meeting. So you don't want to be that guy either. You want to actively be listening and hearing what people are saying, because in hearing what people are saying, sorry, there's a plane going over. It's still going over. In hearing what people are saying, what you'll be able to do is make better contributions to the conversation. It's not about starting a conversation from another perspective at all times. You want to kind of keep the ball rolling and keep that flow that a meeting may already fell into. So your contribution to what you're talking about, you're going to want it to reflect that you've been listening to what other people have been saying, so you can continue down this flow and really start hatching out some really deep ideas, as opposed to, instead of you not listening to what the person ahead of you said, you're like, let's come out of left field with a whole new idea. Like, what you'll be met with it. I've actually seen this happen before in a meeting, with people not actually listening and paying attention in the meeting. What they'll do is they'll come out of left field with what they want to say, as opposed to everyone's on this vibe of like where we're going in the meeting right now and like really brainstorming things. And when you come out of left field like that, it kind of feels like you're not listening to what's going on and you just want to put out your idea. Usually what happens, which is kind of hilarious, is that you'll be met with the next person being like, hey, let's go back to the idea that so-and-so said. Yeah, let's do that. All right, cool. Well, to expand on that more, I thought about this. And you're going to sit there feeling like, what? But there's nothing you can do about it, So just make sure you're listening. Listening is going to be the biggest thing in helping you get to where you want to be with this question. Good luck. I hope you learned something new. This is kind of fun. It's kind of weird being on this microphone. I feel like I about to start singing or something. I don't know. But cool. Keep the questions coming. I'm going to have more videos coming out soon. Thank you very much. Hope everybody's doing all right. Thank you.